My name is Naysy, and today I'll be walking you through how to stream Beat Saber on Twitch. Now, this guide is for the PC version of Beat Saber. You can use an Oculus Quest if you've got a VR-enabled PC and you're plugging your Quest into your PC via a link cable, or if you're using the new Oculus Quest Air Link or virtual desktop. There's a few more extra steps involved, so I'll make a separate video on that one day. But yeah, this is for the PC version of Beat Saber. So I've been streaming on Twitch now for over 5 years, so I've been doing it quite a while, and I've been streaming Beat Saber on Twitch for about 2 years now. It can be pretty complex to set up. It's a lot easier than what it used to be, but hopefully this guide can help you set up so you can stream on Twitch. But one thing I did want to cover, because I'll probably get some questions, and that's in regards to DMCA. If you're not sure what DMCA is, it's the Digital Millennium Copyrights Act. Essentially, it means you do not have the rights to broadcast other people's music without their permission. So on YouTube, they usually claim your content, which means all the ad revenue goes to the music companies. They can strike you and you get 3 strikes, you're completely banned off YouTube, or they can block it in certain countries. Or with Twitch, they can issue a DMCA takedown or a strike, and same with Twitch. Generally, if you get 3 strikes, they delete your account, or Twitch may just decide to delete you straight up. DMCA takedowns aren't too common on Twitch, but they do happen, and there was a big flood of them a while ago. So essentially, if you are streaming custom songs on Beat Saber, you are doing so at your own risk. You do not have the rights to stream that music, but streaming the original soundtrack from Beat Saber is fine, but generally any of the custom songs are not. So TLDR, you're streaming Beat Saber at your own risk. But now we got that out of the way, let's get into how to stream it. So first things first when it comes to streaming Beat Saber is you need to decide on what streaming software you use. I'm going to assume that a lot of you are already streaming, but if you're not, the 2 main ones are Streamlabs OBS, otherwise known as Slobs, or OBS. Streamlabs OBS is really user-friendly, and if you're new to streaming, I recommend that one because it's really easy to set everything up. But I find it doesn't run very well. If you don't have a good PC, I find it does lag a lot. So I use OBS. It's a little less user-friendly, but it runs really well, and there's a ton of tutorials online on how to set that stuff up, so I'm not going to walk you through that. But yeah, you're going to need some streaming software, but if you don't know how to set it up, go Google it. The next thing you need to decide is how you're going to stream Beat Saber. You can stream Beat Saber using mixed reality, which is what I do, and I have a full guide on how to do mixed reality for Beat Saber, so I recommend watching that if you want to do mixed reality Beat Saber. Or you can choose to do mixed reality with an avatar. There's a few guides available on that as well, and there's a ton of free avatars you can download. So if you want to showcase that mixed reality experience but don't have the space or the green screens, or just don't want to show yourself, then avatars are a really cool option. Or you can use first person, where you just capture basically what you're seeing in the VR headset. If you are streaming Beat Saber in first person, I highly recommend downloading a mod called Camera Plus, or Camera 2, I believe it's called now. It allows you to make the movement of the camera a lot smoother, and you can increase the field of view. The default settings in Beat Saber do also have some settings there. It's called Smooth Camera, so make sure you're turning that on and adjusting field of view so the people watching can have a nicer experience, or you can use the mod to improve that experience even more. So highly recommended if you're streaming first person. Otherwise, it's going to look so janky and people aren't going to watch. Now, one quick note is that if you are streaming Beat Saber, I highly recommend having the Steam version of Beat Saber. A lot of the mods and plugins do just kind of work better with the Steam version. You can still do it with the Oculus version, but there are a few different things that may not work. So don't stress if you already paid for it, but if you're making that decision to buy it, or if you don't mind buying it again, definitely recommend getting the Steam version because it'll just make life easier. Now, I guess the number one thing that people want to set up when streaming Beat Saber is song requests. And in the past, this used to be really tricky to do, but they've made it a lot easier, thank God. Now, to get song requests set up and working, I really recommend downloading Mod Assistant if you don't use it already. Mod Assistant is a program you install on your PC that talks to all the latest mods and allows you to download them straight to your computer, keeps them up to date, working with the latest version, and it just makes life so much easier. So make sure you got Mod Assistant. I'll leave a download link for that down below where you can install that one. And in this list, you'll find the mod called Song Request Manager. that is what you use to enable song requests on your Twitch streams. If for some reason it's not showing up in Mod Assistant, I'll leave a link for it down below. But sometimes if there's been a recent Beat Saber update, it doesn't work. So don't stress if it's not working, if it's not up to date. It may just be in limbo before it's updated. Now, to get song requests working, you do need another mod called ChatCore. I'll leave a link down below to download that one. But if you're using Mod Assistant, this will download automatically for you. So this is a must for song requests and a lot of other mods, so make sure you're downloading that. And what ChatCore does is allows you to sign in on your PC to your Twitch account or any like bot accounts that you may be using, and then that's what's going to talk back to the game. And when installing mods as well, make sure you close down the game and relaunch it, because that's what makes everything sync up. After installing the mod and booting up Beat Saber for the first time, it's going to open a web page on your web browser, and it's going to be called ChatCore. So when the web browser launch, it'll show up with a web page saying localhost and some numbers. And on this page, you'll see a box that says Twitch settings. The first box, it'll say login on Twitch. So you want to log in there with your Twitch account. And this is what authorizes it to talk to your Twitch account and send the information back and forth. And then people can write commands in your chat, and then that talks back to the game. So that's a very important thing to do. Now, underneath that section is a section that says channels, and this is where you want to type in your channel name. So you can set this up to work with bots instead, so you can have like Naysy bot or whatever you want. I just use my main account because it's easier, but you can definitely work with the bot account instead. So under channels, you want to type your channel name, and this is very important. You're going to press enter. It doesn't work if you don't press enter. So type in your channel name, press enter, and then there's a few other settings you can play around with just in terms of emotes and stuff. On the right hand side, there's global settings. Make sure that launch web app on startup is ticked, because that's very important. You want it to launch every time you open Beat Saber. Now, once that's set up, you can then put on your VR headset, jump into Beat Saber, and hopefully within the web app menu, so click on solo, and then you should see a little icon that says SRM, which stands for Song Request Manager. So if you don't see that, I recommend closing everything and rebooting it to see if it worked then. Same if you don't get that web page pop up, make sure that you've got the latest version of everything and everything's up to date and working together. And also make sure you don't have any conflicting mods. Usually I find if I've got issues, it's because I've got an old mod installed. So sometimes uninstalling all the mods and starting fresh is the best way to isolate any issues you're having. So we want to click on the SRM icon, and in there we should see our song request menu. Now, the best way to test if this is working and talking to your Twitch account correctly is to click on open in the bottom right hand corner. And if it's working, you should see something in your Twitch chat page that says queue is now open. Now, if you see that, it means everything's working correctly, which means you can now start requesting songs. But again, if it's not working, go back and try all the steps again. There's a big guide of different commands you can use to work with song requests, and I'll leave a link down below for you because I can't remember what they are. But the most important one is !BSR, and that's the code you use to request songs from the Beat Saber website. So if you haven't requested songs before, the best place I find to go is beatsaber.com. Scroll through, find whatever song you want, and then once you find the song you want, there's a little Twitch icon, so you can click on that, and then that copies a code that you can paste in your Twitch channel. So this is something that you want to teach your Twitch viewers on how to do, so they know how to find songs, they know how to copy them, and they know how to paste them in your Twitch channel. And once they're posting that code in your Twitch channel, it then show up with the song request in game. Now there's a few other settings to this. If you want to limit who can request songs, say if you only want subs to request songs or only mods, or how many songs people can request. We want to jump out of the solo song menu and jump into the main settings of the game, and we scroll across to the right. On the right hand side, there's an option that says mod settings. And if you scroll down on the left hand side, there should be an option that says SRM. And in the settings is where you can play around with all that stuff. So user limit, that's basically the limit on how many songs everyone can request. So I think by default is 1, but you can set it up to 5 or 0, up to you. Change how many limits mods have or subs have or VIPs have. You can also change song length, so people aren't requesting really long songs. And there's a bunch of settings there, so it's up to you to play around with them. Back in the song request menu as well, there's a few settings there, whether you want to blacklist a song or skip a song. If you've accidentally missed a song, you can then go to the replay list and find the songs you've already played there. So a lot of this is pretty self-explanatory, I think. I don't think I need to go into it too much detail, but I might write up a bit of a guide on how to use commands and stuff like that, because they're details I'm always forgetting and struggling to know where to find them. So I might write up a little guide and put it on my website. So that's how you request songs in Beat Saber. Now, obviously, if you're requesting songs in Beat Saber and you're streaming on Twitch, you're going to want to read chat. Now, this mod is one I find that it's the hardest to find, especially when there's a Beat Saber update. It seems that it never gets updated when there's a Beat Saber update. So I'll leave a link for it down below, but if it's not working with the recent Beat Saber update, that's a common thing. So the great thing about this mod, it works automatically with ChatCore. So we've set up ChatCore already, so you should be able to copy the chat mod straight into your plugins folder in Beat Saber, and it should just work. And you should get a little window at the top of your screen, and there's a little setting icon if you want to change how it looks or move it around. And I find this is the best way to view Twitch chat in Beat Saber. But as previously mentioned, it does take a while to get updated, so it's common that it doesn't work. But at the time of making this, it is working. So a plan B for Twitch chat that works really well with other games outside of Beat Saber is using Live Streamer Kit. So Live Streamer Kit is part of the Live Mixed Reality software. So if you've already got Mixed Reality set up, you've already got this software installed. But if you don't, I recommend downloading Live from the Steam store. So if you're running the Oculus version of Beat Saber, unfortunately this won't work. So once you boot up the Live software, you'll have two options. There's ones there to launch capture, and that's what you use for avatars or mixed realities. But if you're not using that, if you're just using first person, feel free to ignore that. But the other option there is Streamer Kit. So Streamer Kit allows you to see Twitch chat within the game, also allows you to see alerts, and also a few extra things to work with Beat Saber, which are really cool. So in the Streamer Kit menu, we'll see a few options, but firstly, we want to scroll down to services, and we want to log in with our Twitch account. So if you log in there, it'll launch a new web page where you can log in with your Twitch account. And also you want to log in with Streamlabs and or Stream Elements if you're using them for alerts as well. So this allows you to see alerts within the game. With follow alerts, they come along the ground and come towards you. And with subscriptions, they actually make the blocks glow, which is really heckin' cool. So whenever someone subscribes, their name pops up and the blocks go all glowy for their subscription. So really heckin' cool. It's a really cool interactive experience, and I think it just adds so much more to streaming Beat Saber. So for the chat option, if you want to turn that on, there's an option there that says enabled. You can then experiment with the width and the scroll speed and all those kind of things. And up the top, there's an option for position as well. So you can choose the preset for this. So at the bottom under basic fixed settings, there's a setting that says attach to. So you can choose whether you want to have the chat window within the game, or if you want to have it under your left hand or right hand or following your head. I personally like to have it under my left hand. So you just kind of lift up your palm to look at Twitch chat in game, which is really good for your story, shooty type games. Less so for Beat Saber, but I still like to have it there. I find it's the most easiest way to read. But outside of that, as part of Live Streamer Kit, there is something called GameChanger. Now this is something you have to apply for through the developer Discord. And I believe it's only for something that they give to established streamers. I'm not too sure. But GameChanger is something that allows you to have bombs in the game. You may have seen them in other Twitch streamers' streams. People in your chat can type !bomb, and then it changes a block in the game to be a colored bomb essentially. So you can't see what color the block is, you can't see the arrows, so I guess it kind of sabotages the streamer when playing the game. So it's a really cool interactive element, but it is part of GameChanger, which I believe is in beta and only available to certain streamers. But I'll leave a link down below if you want to join their Discord, and you can apply for it there, and hopefully you're eligible to pick it up because it's a really cool feature. Now that covers a lot of details for streaming Beat Saber on Twitch. There's a few other mods that I haven't mentioned, like HTTP status. So if you want to add an overlay on your Twitch stream that shows what song is playing currently, then that mod's called HTTP status. It's available in Mod Assistant, but I'll try to leave a link for you down below. But in terms of streaming Beat Saber, I think that's everything. I think I covered the main ones. There are a few other mods that pop up from time to time that do allow you to do some cool stuff streaming Beat Saber, but I do find they're usually quite complex, or they stop working once there's a Beat Saber update, so I won't go into detail on them on this video, but if there is a really good mod that comes out, I'll probably make a separate video for them. As a quick note, to find all these really cool Beat Saber mods, the best place to find them is the Beat Saber modding group Discord. People are always adding mods to that Discord, and it's the best place to go for help for any like modding or information, but please just remember to be polite. They do all this stuff out of their free time and they don't get paid, so just always keep that in mind when requesting support from these communities. masterpiece. But apart from that, I stream Beat Saber all the time on Twitch, so I'd love for you to come join me and request some songs and use some bombs and sabotage my gameplay. It's lots of fun. I'd love to see you there. Twitch.tv/Naysy. And if this video helped you, don't forget to leave a like. And if you like Beat Saber content, subscribe as well, because I post all about that. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.